Hi everybody. Alright, we're going to try and work out this identity that involves adding or subtracting a fraction. So don't be scared. We're going to do it. The first thing I'm going to look at is this tangent of x. And I'm thinking I can change it probably to a sine over cosine. So I still have cosine of x plus sine of x, but now I'm going to multiply this by sine of x over cosine of x, because I know that's equivalent to tangent. Now right here, I notice that this is over 1, and if I multiply this part of the identity, it becomes sine squared of x, because I have sine of x times sine of x in the numerator, and 1 times cosine of x just becomes cosine of x. Now at the beginning of this identity, I still have plus cosine of x. Oh boy. First time video, guys. There we go. Okay, now this numerator is a 1, and these can't cancel out with each other, the cosines, because we're not multiplying. So what I need to do is make a common denominator. Now let's go off on a tangent, no pun intended, over here, and talk about adding fractions. Everybody likes numbers more than trig. So let's think if we were to add the fraction 1/2 plus 2 over 1. They don't have a common denominator, but I know I could make them a common denominator if I multiplied this fraction by a version of 1, which is just 2 over 2. Therefore, this fraction becomes 2 times 2 is 4, 1 times 2 is 2, and I know I could then add these together because they have common denominators. Well, another way I could write this is 1 plus 4 all over 2, because you just add straight across the numerator, which I know is equal to 5 over 2. If you can do this with numbers, you can definitely do this with trig, I promise. When I go back to my identity over here, I know that the denominator is cosine of x, and this denominator is 1, but I can change it so that it has a denominator of cosine of x if I multiply it by my version of 1. So I'm going to multiply the first fraction by cosine of x over cosine of x. It's really just 1, but it's going to help me get a common denominator. Sorry for the Christmas colors. And over here I still have plus sine squared of x over cosine of x. I don't want to neglect that section. Alright, let's move on up. So, let's see what happens with our first fraction. Cosine of x times cosine of x becomes cosine squared of x over cosine times 1 is cosine of x. Yes, we have a common denominator. Plus sine squared of x over cosine squared of x. If they have a common denominator, it's like we're going back to this part right here. So I can write it as one fraction with the same denominator. So I'm going to write this as cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x all over the same common denominator. Still looks kind of stressful, but we're getting somewhere. Let's move right on down here. Well, when I look at the numerator, cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x, that is a beautiful Pythagorean identity. It's just 1. And now my denominator is cosine of x. We know what this is. It is just secant of x. So this identity that looked really terrible and awful just became really simple. I hope you made your sound effect. I hope you high-fived or hugged someone. Good luck. Try some more practice. Watch this again. I'll see you all on Thursday. Bye-bye.